Hello class, hello fifth grade. I'm super happy that you are here. I hope you are having a good time being at home with your family. Today we're going to keep working on Unit 2 and it's called Family Ties. So, and this time, let's remember that the last class yesterday we did some activities of the book and we are also working with simple past. In this time we are going to do some activities about this, but first of all we are going to do a review about this topic. So, for example, we have simple past that we need, that it's super important. Remember that when we were starting this year, these classes, we did some activities about simple past, and some of you are having doubts about this. But let's remember that simple past has two different types. So these two different types are the regular verbs and the irregular verbs. Let's remember that the regular verbs are the ones that you add ed at the end. For example, walk, walked, and it's written walked, but you say walk. For example, play, played. Other example will be return, returned. Okay, ed, returned. Okay, call, called, called. Okay, those are the regular verbs. The regular verbs are the ones that you add ed at the end, and the other type are the irregular verbs. The irregular verbs are the ones that don't have roots. For example, sing, sang. Other example would be become, became. One of the most popular is be, was or were. Go, went. Do, did. Break, broke. Eat, ate. What other? Come, came. There are different types. But right now I'm going to show you two charts so we can review about this topic. So, simple past, regular verbs, and also the regular verbs. We are going to start by the regular verbs. So, let's take this chart. It says those verbs that form their past simple with the or ed are regular verbs. These verbs do not undergo substantial changes while changing forms between tenses. Let's pay attention to this. We have the first one, that is found, found. When you find a chart on the internet about simple past verbs or list of verbs in past, you are going to find a chart like this: base form, simple past, and past participle. We are not going to use the other part, that the column that says past participle. We are going to use the base form, that is like the present form, the simple past. Okay, we are only going to be using these two columns. Okay, so these are some of the verbs that are the regular ones. It doesn't mean that these are the only regular verbs. There exist lots and hundreds and thousands of verbs that are regular. It's the same with the irregular ones. So these ones are some examples about this. These aren't the most popular, these aren't the most common, but you can have an idea about this. You can have found, found, pick, picked, play, played, pray, prayed, print, printed, pull, pulled, punch, punch. Then we have race, raced, relax, relaxed. Okay, remember that not all the verbs are pronounced like they are written. Relaxed, walked, found, picked. It's more like a T sound. Not all the verbs are pronounced the same way. Or we have retire, retired, return, returned, rub, rubbed, scold, scolded. Okay? Then we have the irregular verbs. We have that the irregular verbs are the ones that undergo substantial changes when changing forms between tenses and regular verbs. The changed form of the verbs are often unrecognizably different from the originals. It means, in different words, it means that there is not a rule to know what verbs are regular, what verbs are irregular. You just need to learn by practicing and practicing and reading and reading. That's the only way that you are going to learn and to notice and to identify which verbs are regulars, which verbs are irregulars. So this is the reason why I'm showing you these charts so you can have an idea. This chart is similar at the last chart that I showed you, and this is the base form, the simple past, and the past participle. In this topic, we're not using the past participle column. We are using the past participle at the end of the book. It's more like a tough topic. So we have be, was, and were, bit, bit. As you can see in this side, in this time, they are written the same way. Become, became, only one letter changes. Begin, began. Bet, bet. Bite, bit. Okay? Break, broke. Bring, brought. Build, built. Only one letter changes. Burn, burnt. Buy, bought. Catch, caught. Choose, chose. Come, came, cut, cut. It's the same. Though there are some verbs that are written the same way. Cut, cut. Dig, dug. Did, do, or did. Okay? So, if you want to practice, if you want to copy this, you can pause this video and copy them on your notebook. It's going to be super helpful for you. And also, when you are going to do an activity, you can also look, oh, I have my chart on my notebook. I can look for this verb. Yes, this verb, buy, bought. Talk, talk. Get, got. Okay? And some other verbs that are on the internet. You can type on Google, you can type charts of past verbs in English, and they're going to appear you lots and larger charts. So this was to review. Also, we have another topic for today, and it's about comparative adjectives. I'm sure you learned these comparative adjectives when you were in 4th grade. It's super important for you to remember this topic. The comparative adjectives are different from the superlative adjectives that we are going to learn later. Comparative adjectives are used when we want to express and we want to compare two things. For example, I want to compare this marker with this marker. I want to compare this pen with this other pen. Okay? And that's it. I'm going to comparing one marker with this other marker. And that's it. I'm going to compare only two things. And here I have that you make a comparative adjective by adding er. Longer, taller. Straight, straighter. Large, larger. Big, bigger. Hot, hotter. And when we have two syllables or more, like honest, happy, in a row, more honest, happier when it ends with Y. Happier, narrower, okay? Crazier. When you have an adjective that is longer, for example, expensive, popular, confident, dangerous, beautiful, and difficult, you are going to add more difficult, more dangerous, more beautiful, more expensive, more popular, more confident, etc. Okay? You're not going to add ER. For example, expensiver, popularer, confidenter. No, you are going to say more confident because it's too long. It has more than 3 syllables. Some examples about comparing two things using comparative adjectives are: my hair is longer than your hair. You have longer than. This car is more expensive than the other car. Mexico City is further than Cancun. We have further than, more expensive than, and longer than. Okay, and I was forgetting about this. There are some adjectives that are irregular. For example, good, better, many, more, bad, worse, little, less, far, farther, or far, further. There are 2 different ways that you can use it. Also, we have the superlative adjectives. The difference between superlative adjectives are that you are comparing one thing with 2 or more. Remember, comparative adjectives, you're comparing one marker with another marker. Superlative, I'm comparing one with 2 markers or more. Or, depends, will be, I'm comparing 2 pens with another pen. Okay? So, let's look at this. In this case, we are going to use superlative adjectives by adding EST. Long, longest. Tall, tallest. Straight, straightest. Large, largest. Big, biggest. Hot, hottest. Okay? And when you have a comparative, an adjective that has 3 or more syllables, you will say expensive, most expensive. In comparative adjectives, you will say more expensive. In this case, you are going to say most expensive. Popular, most popular. Confident, most confident. Dangerous, most dangerous, etc. Some examples: I am the tallest in the class. I'm comparing myself with the rest of the class. Maybe in the class we are 13, I think. I'm comparing myself with the 12 left. Okay, there's a big group, 2 or more. My favorite singer is the most famous. Here we have most famous because famous is a long adjective. I'm comparing my favorite singer with all the singers that there are around the world. So that's the reason why this is a superlative, not a comparative. Okay? So, and we have also the irregular adjectives: good, best, many, most, bad, worst, little, least, far, farthest, or furthest. We are going to go to the activity, and it's on the student's book, page 21. And we have, I will learn to use the simple past. I will learn to use comparative and superlative to make comparisons. We have a chart in here that says simple present, simple past. Go, went. Am, was. Are, were. Live, lived. Get, got. Move, moved. The chart in yellow says, we went to Los Angeles when I was 8. When they were kids, they lived in Mexico City. She moved to Florida 3 years ago. A few months later, she got a new job. Tip: look for signal words like when, later, ago. Okay? These words, when you see later, when, and ago, means that you are going to use simple past. Okay? So we have exercise 10 that says complete the paragraph. Use the correct form of the verbs. You have a text and you have blanks, and you have also verbs in parentheses. You are going to use these verbs, but you are going to use them in simple past. You can find it on the internet, and you can find different types of charts. Maybe they are on the charts that I showed you after this. You can read the paragraph. Yes, remember, pay attention to the instruction. You are going to use the verbs that are between parentheses in simple past. They are giving you the verbs in present. You need to change them into past. So we can go to the next activity, and you have another chart in yellow in here, and it says Sue's taller than Yoko and Mark. Okay? Yoko is shorter than Sue and Mark. Sue, the tallest person in our class. Here we are using a superlative because we are comparing Sue with the rest of the class. Yoko is the shortest person in our class. It's the same. We are comparing Yoko with the rest of the class. Maybe in the class there are 40 people, 30 people, 20 people. Okay, it's a big group. That's the meaning why, because we are using a superlative. Now, exercise 11 says, look at the pictures and make sentences. And it says, look at the pictures and make sentences. We have picture 1, picture 2, and picture 3. We have in the first picture, Mark, Isabel, and Claire. Number 2, we have 3 dogs, Spot, Fido, and Blue. Number 3, James, Sally, and Robert. Number 1, it's about the first picture. We are going to use the adjective short. Claire is the shorter or shortest. You need to pay attention if we are comparing Claire with one person, or 2 people or more. Number 2, small. Fido is blank than Blue. Is smaller or the smallest? Are we comparing Fido with 2 dogs or 1 dog? Number 3, Jane is taller or tallest than Sally. Okay? And that's it. You need to pay attention to the pictures, and everything is going to be super fine. Now, we have this activity for your notebook, and it says, copy on your notebook and complete using verbs in simple past. So, this is a chart. It doesn't look like one, but I want you to copy this on your notebook like a chart. And here we have the base form: study, walk, run, sing, write, paint, read, drink, sleep, and talk. You can find it on a chart on the internet or in my charts. Maybe they are there, maybe they don't. And you are going to place them in the simple past. Study, studied. Walk, walk, etc., etc. Okay? So you need to complete this chart by writing them in the past tense. And that's it. Copy this on your notebook, complete the activity, write your name, write the date, and also page 21, you need to send a picture to me with your name and also the date. Okay, so here we have an activity that I'm leaving you a link. It's a page that it's a website that it's called British Council, and we have activities about the topic that we are learning, and it's past simple. We have the grammar rule, as you can see here, and we have some examples. I played football, we ate lots of cake, she didn't watch a film, and here we have some rules about this. We say, we don't say, and here we have the game. You click on it and you play start color group. So you need to find the regular ones and the irregular ones. You are going to paint them in pink when it comes to a regular verb. For example, here we have played, watch, lift, had, went, wrote, ate, etc. So I'm going to paint the regular ones, also the irregular, had, wrote, etc. So when you finish, you click on finish and you might send me your score. Okay, so here we have another game, and here we have that we need to complete. Lots of chocolate cake. For example, played, walk, watch, gave, visited, lived, wore. I will say I ate and I click on it. I click on the next. Then her puppy for her birthday. I click on it and place it in here. It doesn't mean that it's the correct option. Of course, I'm not going to give you the right option. And that's it. I want you to play this game so you can practice your verbs. The other one is to help us to recognize the verbs that are regular and the irregular ones. And that's it. You have 2 games in here, and also the rules to remember. Please try to read it. It's super going to be helpful. And that's it for today. I hope you have a nice week, and I'll see you tomorrow. Remember that tomorrow we have the Zoom class. Please try to be on time. If you can read it in advance, I left you the pages of the book that we are going to be reading. But remember, you are not allowed to do the activities, okay? You can read it but not answer anything. I'll meet you there. Please try to be on time, and I'll be waiting to meet you. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.